All right, you know those bits of tech you discover and then kind of wish you hadn't, because once you've seen them, you can't unsee them? You end up wondering why you didn't find them sooner, if you can actually afford them, but also you feel mildly frustrated you now just need them in your life. Hi everyone. Now, over the past month, I've been quietly testing some beautifully designed alternative lifestyle tech that you might be a little annoyed at me for showing you. This is gear that doesn't always get the mainstream attention, but has ended up changing a few things about how I work, how I relax, even how I sleep. This list might be one of my favorite alternative setups I've put together. And before we dive in, a huge thanks to Valerion for sponsoring today's video and for letting me get hands-on with one of my favorite discoveries of the whole lot. Links in the description to everything, as always, of course. And yes, of course, I have been sent some of these things for free. Some of these I bought with my own money. But as always, I'm only publishing my honest thoughts, or I don't publish. Let's kick off. And we're going to kick off big. I mean, literally, big screen, big image, home cinema levels big. Could a projector replace your TV? So for years, I assumed if you want to get like great home cinema experience, you needed either a massive flat panel TV or to spend tens of thousands of pounds on serious home cinema build-outs. But then I tried this, a projector that delivers cinema grade image quality, full streaming built in, and honestly does things that even my TV can't, all for a fraction of what you'd expect to pay. This is the Valerion VisionMaster Pro 2, a 3000 lumens, 15,000 to 1 contrast ratio, 4K UHD RGB triple laser projector with Google TV OS and, well, a ridiculous Hollywood in your home spec sheet beyond that. Now, this projector must be something special because on Kickstarter, it's the most funded project in its category in history. That's gotta mean something. So this thing will project an image from 40 inches right up to 300 inches wide. It supports IMAX Enhanced, HDR 10 plus, Dolby Vision, a bunch of other cinema spec features, meaning, well, I'm not sure you could really outgrow this thing very easily. But let's skip to the important stuff. What's it like, and is a projector like this worth it? Now, I've set this up now in a lot of places, at home, at the studio, in my mate's house, in a big garden, and it was really easy. I love the carry case that it comes with. It's a really nice touch. And Valerion kindly sent me their tripod stand as well, with a 120-inch portable folding screen, which honestly worked brilliantly for those summer movie nights outside. Now, the first thing that surprised me about the actual projector was how simple it is to live with. This isn't one of those plug in a laptop and fiddle with settings for 45 minutes type situations. It's got built-in Google TV that's become my absolute favorite interface, but maybe my TV's too old. And once I'd finally set up a Google Home account and linked it, which yes, took a few extra steps, every one of my streaming apps was right there. Netflix, Disney, YouTube, Apple TV Plus, all seamlessly native, and even on the buttons on the remote. No HDMI sticks or extra boxes to clutter up your setup. But where this thing really impressed me is the image quality and sheer flexibility of the setup. Autofocus, seamless. Keystoning correction, fully automatic if you want, but you can also turn it off and go fully manual to get your placement perfect. And the standout feature, this projector at this very reasonable price point has optical zoom. Very rare at this price, something usually reserved for high-end stuff. It means you can position this projector really close to something or really far away and kind of get a similar size image, maintaining the full 4K sharpness because you're adjusting the glass, not degrading the image digitally. And then there's this lovely little remote, and honestly, it's one of the nicest I've used on any device. It's super tactile, clicky, premium feel, and critically, you don't need to point it directly at the projector, which kind of can be weird in cinemas or with projectors because you want to point it at the screen. But thanks to RF connectivity, that's all good. And you can literally press buttons while pointing at that blank wall. My tiny gripe on this one is got to be that it would be great if all the buttons were backlit, because in the dark, using a projector, you don't really see what you're doing. So we set it up outdoors, and as that light faded, that HDR laser contrast and beautiful image really came alive. Indoors, even just projecting directly onto the blank wall produced a remarkably sharp and vibrant image. And once you factor in a real ambient light rejecting or ALR screen, things get truly next level. Now, I would say if you are investing in a projector like this, always budget for a proper projector screen, or even, as I'm actually thinking about doing at home, get some projector optimized paint. That would mean I could paint the entire side wall of my living room. Bingo, a hidden, simple wall in the day, and then when I want to watch something, it comes alive. Now, when you go into the menus, picture modes are fully tweakable. You can fine-tune dark detail, enable laser dimming for better blacks, and optimize it for cinema, gaming, or brighter room setups. The laser physically dims in darker scenes to deepen contrast naturally. And all of this at a price point that's genuinely disrupting both the ultra short throw and home cinema world. For home cinema lovers, Valerion have pulled something off pretty special. Just listen to the home cinema experts and how they're shouting about this. Links below if you want to check it out. Now, let's shrink things down dramatically, and I mean dramatically. When most people think about health tracking, they think of yet another screen, right? A smartwatch, another band, something buzzing or lighting up on your wrist, which is great until you realize you're adding yet another distraction and thing to carry around in your day-to-day. And that's probably why I've fallen in love with smart rings, and recently I tried out the RingConn Gen 2 smart ring. This is another design disruptor in your tech world. It's just 2 to 3 grams in weight, and with a form factor thinner than many wedding bands, you barely notice it's there. In fact, some people are using it for that. And yet somehow it's quietly collecting far more data than most people expect. We're talking full sleep stage tracking, heart rate variability, blood oxygen, stress levels, readiness scores, and uniquely to this ring only, sleep apnea monitoring. Now, the last one did genuinely surprise me. RingConn used their SpO2 levels across multiple nights to estimate your sleep apnea risk with around 90% accuracy. Pretty cool innovation. And all completely passive. You don't actually have to do anything. Now, the app itself is genuinely lovely to use. Smooth, simple dashboards that give you just enough data at a glance if you want to do a daily health check, but plenty of depth if you want to go deeper on your stats. What's really good, and I think all ring companies should be doing this, there's no monthly subscription, which alone makes it stand out from a couple of the other competitors. And then there's good battery life, 10 to 12 days on a single charge from the ring itself. But if you pair it with the charging case, which, thank you, is a case, so it means you can carry it with you, that will give you 150 plus days of portable power before you even need to plug it into the wall again. Genuinely one of the lowest maintenance wearables that I've used, and quite a long way ahead on that front, I think. If you're looking for true health tracking without yet another screen vying for your attention, I think this is a really elegant solution, and I am really enjoying smart rings. All right, the desk setup. This next piece of alternative tech is kind of alternative. It's definitely a world. Most mechanical keyboards lean towards two extremes. They're either massive gamer boards with RGB lighting everywhere, or ultra minimal travel keyboards that sacrifice feel. Now, the NuPhy Air 75 version 3 has just come out, and it sits perfectly in between mechanical feel, minimalist design, being fully portable, and somehow just belongs with the Apple desk setup like it was made for it. And actually, the build quality is lovely. This might be my favorite balance for a while in a keyboard between feel and clean design. Now, I've long used the Air 60 for travel, also from NuPhy, but this 75% layout offers just that little extra functionality whilst still keeping things slim and beautifully minimal. Perfect if you're kind of in that Apple ecosystem. So I've got in here the red nano linears, great for gamers, speed typists, they glide faster. Then we've got the brown nano tacto switches. These are for writers and coders. And finally, these are the blush nano silence. The red linear switches I selected are actually really lovely, smooth, fast, great for long writing sessions. And being low profile, it means you can get mechanical satisfaction without towering keycaps. Of course, all the usual Bluetooth, wireless stuff. You've got little legs that help it prop up if you need that. Genuinely one of my favorite upgrades this year for any creative or productive setup. Let me know in the comments if you have yet to try or do use mechanical keyboards, and just give them a go because they might change your world. And if you want to know more about desk setups and how to get that spot on, I've got a bunch of videos and I'll list them in the description below if this is your happy place too. Now for something very future but also now. Right, Meta, Ray-Bans, Wayfarers. We've been promised smart glasses for years from Apple and Google, and there are some exciting rumours going around at the moment, so we need to watch this space. But most of them at the moment just look kind of ridiculous or just don't really work that well. Well, what surprised me with these that I bought on a second-hand store called Vinted in the UK is how they quietly kind of slide into your life. You can take calls, control music, capture video and photos, and yeah, sure, use them as sunglasses and actually have a prescription. But all without feeling like you're wearing some kind of gadget on your face, pretty much. Now, I purchased these secondhand on a whim after getting annoyed with another AI glasses manufacturer asking me for more than I could offer them. And well, these are actually becoming one of my top pieces of tech in the year. So it's ups and downs, right? And with the rumor of the next gen coming sooner rather than later, we should talk about why they might be worth looking at right now. Oh, and by the way, my cat loves them. I'm going to start actually with sound rather than vision and the directional open ear speakers that are hidden in the arms.
You can use your glasses to make calls and send messages, listen to audio, live stream, and more.
They weirdly create this kind of intimate bubble of sound, but you can hear everything else around you. For phone calls and podcasts in, say, a busy cafe or on public transport, it works genuinely well. Music, that's where they kind of are more situational. Decent in quiet environments, but easily overpowered in noisy ones. But this is what did surprise me. I put them inside my motorcycle helmet, and the enclosed space actually amplified clarity, and suddenly music, turn-by-turn directions, calls, all sound richer, clearer, while still keeping my ears open to road noise.
I don't know, what's the sound like? Certainly a lovely way to listen to music.
I mean, this is an absolute find for me as a motorcyclist. Okay, the AI controls are basic at the moment, but practical. You can do things like, say, hey Meta, play some Lord on Spotify.
From Spotify, here's Lord.
Call mum or send a message to Dirk, and it'll do it pretty well. Hey Meta, let's call Dirk on mobile.
Calling Dirk on mobile. Tap and hold if you don't want to call.
A little bit of lo-fi chill. Not bad. Asking for directions, it's not quite there yet. And it tends to kind of say, oh, I can't use the maps right now or whatever. The cameras though, 12 megapixel stills. You can do video, obviously designed vertically for Instagram, that are ideal for casual vlogging or content creation. And I use them to capture vertical reels while filming longer YouTube content horizontally. It's like a kind of wearable B-roll generator. And critically, they just look like Wayfarers. And I've got a pair of those. If you compare them, they're not that different. You're not announcing to the world that you're wearing smart glasses, and actually it often takes people a while to realise. And for the first gen mainstream wearable, yes, they've been out a while, but I'm impressed. So sure, I think in 2025, 2026, we really do need to keep an eye on Google and Apple, and if they'll actually get to this, certainly Google. But I hear rumours that there could be a new Meta Ray-Ban coming out soon. Will we start to see stuff showing up on the screen? If we could get live translation on them, oh my days. Okay, let's take a little diversion on alternative tech. Because one alternative to tech is if it needs to be tech at all. Not every piece of tech needs batteries or apps. Sometimes the simplest tools have the biggest impact. And after years of traveling, testing, and just general daily work, these tiny earplugs have become one of my most used focus tools. In a world full of noise, sometimes the best upgrade is being able to turn everything down. Now, loop earplugs tend to be on my person these days all the time, whether I'm flying, in conversation, trying to sleep when I'm camping or in a hotel room, or just trying to work in a noisy cafe. These give you analog volume control for real life. I've been using the Loop Switch 2 model recently, which allows you to easily adjust between 3 levels of decibel reduction depending on your environment. They're comfortable enough to sleep in, particularly if you get the Dream set, very nice, and discreet enough for public spaces, and absolutely perfect inside a motorcycle helmet with those Ray-Bans. Perfect combination where noise levels can be managed and actually stop you from damaging your hearing long term. So in a world now that's increasingly filled with noise, I actually think this is really great. And as someone who can easily get overstimulated, I don't know, this seems like a good bet. Check them out, I've linked them below, and I believe that Loop are giving Better Creating viewers 20% off if you use my link, so what's not to love? Okay, so that's 5 really cool bits of alternative tech, but I do need to make a quick bonus mention because yes, this year I fell fully into the 3D printing rabbit hole. So yeah, I got a Bamboo Labs A1 combo to do some 3D printing, and it's absolutely opened up a whole new creative outlet. And it's helped me make stuff to solve problems in the studio. It's great. I started printing little accessories, camera mounts, desk organizers, but once you start designing your own solutions, it gets really addictive really quickly. To be honest, mostly what I made was a sign for my door. But this is especially fun when, if you do get into it as a hobby, you can also make a few versions of expensive accessories that you don't have to spend the money on. I'm not going to go into it here, but this year, probably my most popular video of 2025 is the story of my beginner's journey into 3D printing, and you can check that out below if you're curious. So those are my top 5 beautifully designed tech alternatives that I kind of wish I hadn't discovered, because now I can't actually imagine my life without them. Thanks to Valerion for partnering on this video, and make sure you hit my face to subscribe if you haven't. I really think you should go and watch one of these videos next because, well, YouTube thinks you'll love one of them, and that one up there is really good. I'll see you there.